Ranak everybody, we talk about Ansys. It's Ansys Workbench introduction course, and today we continue talking about menu. We talk about all tools and features from menu, but there are one item that we don't talk about. Options and preferences are very huge and detailed theme, so we talk shortly about them, and reasons that there are no sense to talk about all these options before we understand what in the background of these options. So in tools options, you can find preferences for Workbench, for general Workbench project and applications. Some applications have their own preferences and options. So it's most common. For example, here on a project manager, we can set a default folder for temporary files, which we will store, where we will save any new objects, and what kind of level compression we will have for archiving our project, for example. Also, we can create some custom settings for color schema. It's very important to use, for example, this one, uniform schema, for better work with graphs, with picture that will be taken from Ansys Mechanical. If you have top-bottom gradient or else gradient, it's more interesting. In more interesting way. It's more comfortable for eyes, but for example, for creating report, sometimes it's not very good, because some companies say that we doesn't need a background. So for simplifying process with background, much better to set from gradient, which for default, to uniform, and set background color as white or else color that will be easy to delete from the pictures. Also, here, depending on what color you choose here, you can select different type of Ansys logo, and that's the point, allow you to change logo, which you will see in Ansys Mechanical in the right upper corner. For change it, you need to change some files in Ansys program folder, but it's not so difficult. So additionally, we can say how many numbers we can see in digits, and some other things. The most important and not important, it's language preferences, because in most cases we have the very short list, only Deutsch, English, Francais, Japanese, and Chinese. So if you are one from those regions and you know those language like Deutsch, Francais, Japanese, or Chinese, it can be more comfortable to change language. But in most cases, English are more standard variants, so we work like this. Also, we can change method of interaction with 3D model. We can set here preferences which will be very similar to software that you use. I try to show my fluffy companion. Sorry. So, sometimes in this place we can find options which have name of CAD application, and we can choose those interaction schema to one which are closer to SolidWorks, Solid Edge, Creo, Pro Engineer, NX, and so on. But in some reason Ansys deletes those option, and now we must to do it with our own hand. So we can do it, but you need to spend some time. Additionally, we can see some extension. We can say where we will solve our tasks and so on. We can do some changes for design exploration. For example, we can create a method of optimization. For example, genetic algorithms or some other, and so on. So it's very important kind of item, but we need a lot of information before we talk how to work with this. And in the end, we have separate options for different objects, analysis objects, and different applications that we can start from Ansys Workbench. So something like that. And the last one is geometric import, and here we can choose which CAD system we will use for creating and editing geometry by default. We can change what type of geometry we will import by default, and what type of additional information we will also import from original CAD files. So something like that. Also, we can change stitch tolerance. It can be very important to the model which have problem with unstitched surface, with holes in model, and so on. So if you have changed some items here, sometimes you can affect your importing process, but sometimes you can do it more powerful. So we will talk about all these features, all these options later, when we talk about all basic products of Ansys. And today I need to say that you know where the options are present, where you can find it, what you can do for short description, with short description. And if you want some additional information, wait until it will appear here, or find it on the internet or on Ansys Help. See you later.